All right, welcome to Morning Tailgate. This is Brandon, Big B, and here with Chris B. Bacon. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, and joined by our new co-host. He lives halfway across the world, and I can say that because he does. So, Tim Hendricks. Hey, yo, how's it going?
Not too bad. Hey, yo.
Yeah. So, and we're brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment. So, guys, could we say it wasn't a boring week 2 of the off season for NFL? I mean, what can
No.
we say?
I can't say
Um,
that.
I guess we could start off and by saying that Deshaun Watson found a new home.
Yeah.
He's going to Cleveland after they denied Baker Mayfield a trade request, and then a day later they bring in Watson. If I remember right, I think it's 3 round picks, a second and a fifth. I could be,
Something like
uh,
that. It was a
yeah,
lot of
something.
draft picks.
Yeah.
Sounds
So,
about
Chris, what
right.
do you think of that deal?
I think we kind of figured something was going to happen when Baker was saying, "Hey guys, I've been in Cleveland for a while. Thank y'all for having me." Pretty much saying his goodbyes. Um, and I think he wanted out because at the time we didn't know what was going on, but we figured that something was coming down, and they signed Watson, and I think they also signed Keenum, Case Keenum. No, they didn't.
Nope,
I
he
thought
went to
they signed.
Buffalo.
Oh, no.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, either way, they signed another quarterback, and Baker wanted to trade. Brown said no, and I mean, it's going to be a good move for him. Either way, they have two good quarterbacks, I think.
Yeah. So, Tim, what did you think of the big blockbuster trade there?
I, as soon as I heard Cleveland was out, as soon as he said Cleveland was out, I didn't think, I thought he was going to either Atlanta or New Orleans. And as soon as I saw that, I kind of curious what in the world just happened. It seemed like, you had yourself a mini Herschel Walker deal there. It seemed like that 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 Houston can get ready for the next 2 seasons, being in the bottom of that division. But Deshaun's going to Deshaun's going to just recruit. And you're just going to start seeing more players going to Cleveland, and Cleveland is going to start getting weapons that they didn't already have. I think it's a good deal for Cleveland.
Yeah, I think. I mean, any team that gets Watson, I mean, we take off the legal issues and off the field. Great quarterback. I mean, I think we all can agree. Um, I'm shocked all around that he got moved so quickly. I mean, I know it's been in talks for over 2 years now, but after the Browns said no or we're not, and then Mayfield, you're our guy, pretty much said that we're not going to trade you. Yeah, I was on the Saints Falcons bandwagon, and then all of a sudden, what, 24 hours, 48 hours later, oh, he's going to the Browns. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Did like we just misread a
Yes.
whole bunch of things?
It,
So, I guess he's still pending a suspension,
Yeah.
which to me that'd be another thing. I would have reached out to the NFL and kind of gauged what they're thinking they're going to do before I would have made any moves. And maybe the Browns did that, but I did see it. I'm trying to find if I can find the report. Oh, here it is. Um, they restructured this contract. He gets 230 for 5 years, fully guaranteed. Which makes Kirk Cousins' deal look like just $5. But the
right.
one thing is his base salary for 2022 is only going to be $1 million. You know, so just in case he gets suspended, they only have to pay him $1 million. You know, so
Right.
and Tim, I'm with you too. I think the Browns, probably just got the biggest bargaining chip to bring people in and Watson, especially receiver wise, and maybe they got a decent running game already. So, um,
Right.
but we'll see where the pieces fall. Chris, you got anything else to add to that?
No, I mean I think it's a good trade offer, but I just don't know what's going to happen to Baker Mayfield now. I mean, he wants out. Browns say no.
Well, let's
Something can
talk with
happen.
that.
Something can happen though.
Let's talk with that. Baker Mayfield's on the block supposedly. So I think we already named two teams that already have well, Atlanta doesn't have an opening, but there's some rep there with Matt Ryan. So Tim, I'll start with you. Where could you see Mr. Mayfield land?
From what I'm reading, from my sources, which is
Isaiah.
every sporting app that I've got, has Baker wanting to go to Cleveland. He wants to go to Indy,
I could see him go
which he's
there.
already come out and told Cleveland Browns that he wants to go to Indy. It's not a bad idea. We've got basically nothing as quarterbacks. We've got basically two quarterbacks with no experience. Um, he could also go to New Orleans. There's possibility. The possibilities are very very few, and it's right now Cleveland, Seattle. You're looking at two teams that need quarterbacks with
Oh
the with,
yeah,
with the
Seattle could be
possibility of
one. Yeah.
Winston probably going back to New Orleans. You're looking at two teams that need a quarterback.
Okay. What about you, Chris? What do you think is next for Mayfield?
I'm thinking Indianapolis, but you could go Las Vegas Raiders. I mean,
Uh,
if you're going to move on from Carr, which I doubt it, but if you were, you could bring him in.
yeah, I think with the new leadership that the Raiders have, I think they're going to run it with Carr. But you never know. NFL is kind of a weird thing. Browns said they weren't going to trade. They traded. And now they're stuck with two quarterbacks. So I mean, yeah, anything's possible. I know there's been talks that Minnesota and the Browns were talking about a quarterback swap, which is pretty much out the door now. Seattle's opening. I mean, Arizona, we don't know what's going on with Murray yet. I mean, that's a possibility. So Atlanta or the Saints is a big opening. If I was a quarterback that thought he still had something to prove, Atlanta or the Saints, Atlanta, and Seahawks would be my top three choices. I think. I mean, especially Seattle, they got some nice young weapons there. So, so with that, talked about that. So moving on, probably a probably the biggest trade that kind of outside of Watson that shocked me was Packers trading Devontae Adams to the Raiders. So, Chris, we'll start with you on that. What did you think of that move?
Yeah, that was surprising. It, I think we all figured that he was going to stay in Green Bay, but I understand where he's coming from. They signed Rodgers, and I don't think he felt like they had enough money now to spend on Adams to get him to stay there. So it's unfortunate, but I guess it had to be done.
Yeah. So, Tim, what did you think of the Adams to Oakland or Adams to the Raiders move? I'm sorry, I keep calling them Oakland.
I, I was absolutely shocked to see that. I like Crispy. I wasn't. We all thought he was going to stay in Green Bay, and next thing you know, he's gone. It's kind of a. It was kind of a shock to I think a bunch of us because, yeah, unlike Deshaun Watson, we all know Watson was getting traded. We didn't know Devontae Adams was even remotely close to being put on the block. And
Mm-mm.
when you get Rodgers getting a loaded deal like he did, you don't have you just don't have the money, and it was
Yeah.
just a
Oh,
it was just a casualty of war at this point.
yeah, and that's another thing too. It sounds like Rodgers knew what they were going to do after they signed him. That's one thing. Players want to have all these pieces around them, but you can't throw one piece of the pie, one big piece of the pie to one player and expect to still be good. Oakland, I think, definitely got better with Adams there. That whole division got better with Adams there. That division is probably gonna be a fun division to watch. Um, so with that being said, what's the Packers gonna do now at receiving? So Tim, I know you used to live in Wisconsin. What do you think of what the Packers are gonna do?
I think they have to. I'm not sure what their cap space is. It wasn't a lot to begin with. It's not any better now. Um, Landry from Cleveland being floated out there. There's still T.Y. Hilton from Indy, Zach Pascal from Indy. You're looking at there's still wide receivers out there. They can go back after Valdez Scantling. He knows the system. He knows Aaron Rodgers. He knows he could possibly be the number two. I think they're going free agency because I don't really know how deep the wide receiver is in the draft. But there are veteran receivers out there that they go after.
Okay.
Julio
Yeah,
Jones, heck, you got Julio Jones. If you
I'm
really
just
want
looking
to
at the
open the field
cap right
up,
now. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, that's true. It looks like one website here is reporting they got just over 20 million to spend. So I could. I'm just looking again. Chris, what do you think the Packers are going to do?
Ooh. I mean, those are good players, in free agency. All of them can fit in Green Bay, but I don't know. I feel like free agency is kind of winding down now. There's like a week or two period where, it gets really active and, all that. But I think they're going to mainly get somebody in the draft. I just don't know who, but
Yeah, yeah. I think the Packers are going to go draft. They might wait till after the draft to maybe sign a Julio Jones, a Landry.
yeah.
I think the major part of free agency is over now. I think a lot of teams are going to gear up for the NFL draft and all these workouts they're going to do. Uh, I know a lot of few Packer fans, I should say, a lot that I talk to. Now Rodgers has to open his eyes. He doesn't have that one key target. He's going to
Right.
start trusting his other receivers. So we'll see where the Packers go. Being a team that or a guy that roots for a team in the North, I'd rather see the Packers at full strength. But they did what they had to do. And we know if anybody wins that division outside of Packers, the Packer fans will be like, "Well, you guys could beat us with our full team. We had to trade people away, so you guys had a chance." So there's always that built-in excuse. So with that being said, move to another receiver that got signed to a team that needs to look for defense, and they keep signing offensive players. So Kansas City signed Juju from Pittsburgh. So Tim, we'll start with you. What did you think of that move?
I was shocked a little bit. I wasn't expecting Juju to leave Pittsburgh, but it's just another weapon in Kansas City's weapon in their armory. But it's a 1 year deal.
Yep.
It's uh, maybe a stepping stone contract, bigger deal. I wasn't expecting it. That money could have went to Tyreek Hill, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, but like you said, another big weapon to go with another offensive weaponry. I mean, they're just out to play schoolyard football. It seems like. So, Chris, what do you think of the Smith Schuster
It's going to be
deal to Kansas City?
it's going to be interesting. Another weapon for Patrick Mahomes, but like we hear everybody say, from reporters to everybody here, on Facebook and all that, they need defense more than they need offense. Great, they have offense, and we know Patrick Mahomes can use anybody on the field, to help him out. But they've been really struggling with their defense since that last Super Bowl run, and I mean, they've had struggles with their defense, and they've seemed like they pull wins out of their hat, but I don't know. I feel like they need defense.
Yeah, I mean, there's a team that, yeah, the defense came on in the second half of the year, but you can't expect that to always happen where a defense will click and make a run to the playoffs. And then, a few days ago, I was looking around, and it looks like Kansas City's also talking with the Carolina Panthers on a possible running back trade, McCaffrey to Kansas City. So there's another, rumored out there. Another team still needs defense, and they want an offense. I mean, how much points does offense think they need to put up to win? Tim, we'll talk to you.
At this point, you have to. I, offense is fun. Offense is great. Offense is what puts butts in the seats. But if your defense can't stop a snowflake in a snowstorm, you're not gonna. You can have all the offense in the world, and it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're gearing up to have like 60 to 50 point games here. So,
Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to lose many of those, but you shouldn't be winning many of those either. So, Chris, what do you think about the potential? And you kind of broke it on another show. Thought it happened, but it sounds like it's just talks. But
yeah.
McCaffrey to the Chiefs.
Again, they need more defense than they do offense. And if I was somebody, interviewing somebody from the coaching staff or front office or somebody like that, I would ask them, what makes you feel like you need to get offensive players more than defensive because you know it feels like your defense is, I wouldn't say last, but close to bottom of the NFL rankings. Yet you pick offensive you know players. I just don't know why. Mainly skilled players. But if you were going to get offensive players, why not get somebody on the offensive line to help protect Mahomes, and then you can also get defensive players.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I'm just looking through here, guys, see maybe if we missed any major signings. Nothing else is jumping out at me. Um, oh, Teddy Bridgewater signed with the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Wow. All right, Tua's backup. Teddy Bridgewater to the
Really,
Dolphins. Yeah, that shocked me. I mean, you know, I've been a big Bridgewater fan, and I mean,
and
just yeah,
reportedly Jameis is staying. He signed a deal.
okay.
Um, Stafford signed a deal, a contract
I'm
extension.
just looking here to see if anything jumped out, guys. If you guys, Jimmy, you know any signings or trades that we might have missed that might have impacted this year?
no, it's no,
But Jacoby signed
no.
as the backup for the Browns, so
That
That's
I
going to be
just saw that
interesting.
earlier, but I thought
uh, okay.
I'm
So
happy
yeah,
enough.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought there was more, but I mean, we touched on the three, biggest areas. So let's get into our division breakdown here. We're gonna break down and give a little prediction. I mean, it's still kind of early
Yeah,
to be like, oh, this is what I think is really gonna happen. So as of today, being 3:20, we're gonna talk about the AFC South. Probably one of the divisions that's probably wide open right now. Last year, on at 12-5, the Colts were 9-8. Houston was 4-13, and Jacksonville was 3-14. So first off, we'll start with the Jacksonville. They got the top pick. I think they're going to go defense, if not move out of that first pick. But
hmm
there's a lot of people saying that this draft is not that strong to make that kind of move. So I'm thinking defense. Maybe an offensive line to protect their young quarterback. So Tim, we'll start with you. Jacksonville, what do you think they're going to do?
I think they're going. I think they're going defense. When they picked after they picked up Brandon Sheriff out of Washington, when they signed him in the free agency, I think it gave them the opportunity to look on the defensive side of the ball. I think it was a smart move to pick up that because he could be a perennial Pro Bowler, could be a perennial All Pro if he plays right. But I think they're going defense.
All right. Chris, how about you? What do you think Jacksonville's going to do uh, free agency and possibly the draft?
I think they're done. I feel like they're done in free agency. They're going to focus really on the draft and mainly, I think on the draft, their first overall pick, at least for now, is going to be. I'm thinking on defense.
Okay. All right. And then with the number 3 pick, the Houston Texans, who got the 3 and the 13th in the first round with that trade with the Cleveland. What are we going to see Houston do? Chris, you're in Texas. What have you heard outside of Dallas talk what the Houstons might be doing?
Really, I haven't heard much, um, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went. I mean, this might be early, but maybe go off or go offense.
Uh, Tim, what do you think Houston might do with the 3rd and 13th pick and help them out?
I think with the third pick, I think the third pick they look offensive line at this point. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe 13th, you kind of I don't know. You start you giving weapons to mile to quarterback. I just you got to do something because the defense you're in rebuild mode this year. At this point, you're rebuilding
Yep.
towards the number 1 pick next year. So I don't. I think you're going offense and you're building around that quarterback.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think the 3rd pick definitely will see an offensive lineman going. The 13th pick, you possibly could see that stud wide receiver or even a possible move to get more assets. Like Tim's saying, they're probably in rebuild mode right now, looking to build towards the future a little bit. So, with that being said, next team, I was gonna say the Colts. Tim, they're your team. So right now they have 0 first round picks. So they'll be drafting first, the 42nd pick
Zero.
in the second round. So what's your beloved Colts gonna do?
Well, it depends on what's going to happen between now and the draft. If we may not even be in that pick, if we could easily may not even be in that pick if we use the number 2 for Baker or number 2 for a 2 maybe Matt Ryan for one of those quarterbacks. I think we could easily not be in that pick. If not, maybe one of those first round quarterbacks that are tired about drops. If not, maybe a replacement offensive lineman to replace Glow tackle, or maybe a weapon for a quarterback we don't have. Um, at this point, you could throw the picks up in the air and it wouldn't hurt us.
Okay, yeah. It kind of sucks
And
trying to apply in the
that's the
draft
sad
board
part.
and you have no first round pick. So yeah, I could
Hmm.
I could definitely see the Colts moving on a quarterback in that second round via drafting one or trading for one. So, Chris, how about you? What do you think the Colts could do?
Right.
I could see maybe a quarterback, going to the Colts if they
Okay.
don't find one in free agency.
All right. And then finally, Tennessee Titans. They're sitting with the 26th pick, a team that I think is a quarterback away, which I'm surprised they haven't made for one. I mean, Tannehill did his job. He's doing his job as a quarterback that's not as a big name quarterback, but uh,
hmm
do they rely on their running game still? Are they going to win it? So, Chris, what do you think the Titans are going to do to kind of defend that crown?
I feel like you have to, and this might sound crazy, but maybe draft an upcoming running back. Because Derrick Henry, yeah, he's been good for many years, but you don't know how long that's going to last. And I think getting that reinsurance might help.
Okay, okay. Tim, what do you think?
I think you've got the fifth rushing offense in the league with Derrick Henry. Well, no, with only half of Derrick Henry, you add Derrick Henry. Yeah, backup running back isn't a bad idea. You get a running back, a receiving running back because Derrick Henry can't. He got better. He just doesn't have the hands at the receiver as a receiver at the running back spot. You bring in a receiving running back, or you bring in a wide receiver to go alongside Brown. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're joined by our trusty leader here, the GM of Coast to Coast Network, Adam Arbor. You guys know him as Abe. What's up, Adam?
Hey, so I'm hopping on here because people kept asking me, about my thoughts on this Devontae Adams trade.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Give it to
Go
him.
ahead.
so I'm on here to give you my thoughts on this Devontae Adams trade. Hey, Tim, it's good to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
But first off, so the thing I want to say about this Devontae Adams trade is simply this. So going into basically before free agency started, we had about 1 million in cap space. We were able to get under the cap, and we had $1 million in cap. We had a ton of free agents. We had Devondre Campbell, we had Robert Tonyan, we had Rasul Douglas, and so people kept saying, well, what are you going to do? Here's why the Devontae Adams trade is going to actually work out for us the best. And the reason is because once we traded him, we were going to only be able to basically re-sign one of those guys. Now that we traded him, we were able to re-sign Devondre Campbell. We were able to re-sign Rasul Douglas. We were able to re-sign Robert Tonyan, and we got another first rounder and a second rounder. So in the end, it turned out great for us. I'm not worried one little bit. I think we're going to get another receiver in free agency. Maybe not a great receiver, but I think we're looking into Jarvis Landry right now, and then I know we're going to draft a receiver in the first round. And Gutekunst has already come out and said he's going after a receiver in the first round. So for us, I really I was okay with this because we were able to re-sign a bunch of core guys.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it definitely opened up a lot for you guys. I mean, I think we're all still shocked, but I mean, looking at it to your perspective as a fan and one that follows the team closely, I mean, it does make sense that they moved an asset to gain more assets. I mean, they got the guys they wanted back. So,
well, yeah, because because if you're trying to build your defense again, if you're trying to make your defense better, and you're losing like 3 or 4 key pieces on your defense to free agency, what's a better way than getting them back? Yeah, you might lose a key asset, but you gain 4 more. So,
no, I expect the Packers to be tough this year again.
So that's why I came on, because people were asking my opinions about it.
Oh. Okay, so Packers are looking to go receiver first round. So
Yep.
All right. So, so Adam, since we're on here, what do you think about the AFC South right now? What do you think's going to happen?
Oh boy. Well, it's interesting. When you look at the AFC South, I actually saw a Jacksonville fan that came out that basically stated, "Are you saying that we have the best quarterback in the division?" And I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't go that far yet because number one, we don't know who the Colts are going to have yet. Number one.
Yep.
And then number two, I think Ryan Tannehill's still just a little bit better than Trevor Lawrence, only because Tannehill has more experience,
Yep.
and he has been to a championship game, and Trevor Lawrence has only had one season in the NFL, and let's tell you, it wasn't the greatest.
Yep. Exactly. So, all right. Well, thanks for hopping on, and you're welcome to stay for a few more minutes as we're just wrapping up the AFC South.
All right. Well, if you want my
So,
final prediction on
Tim, did we
who,
finish with you on your thoughts? What's that? Go ahead,
oh, I
Adam.
was going to say, if you wanted my prediction on who I think is going to win the South, I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
still thinking it's going to be Tennessee.
All right. How much do you think Jacksonville's going to improve? I mean, from 3-13. I mean,
They're going to improve. They're going to be about eight or nine wins, so they're
all
going to
right.
be on the cusp of a playoff spot.
All right. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm kind of guessing. So for me, yeah, I think it's Tennessee's division to lose. Chris saying go for a running back in the first round
Yeah.
would not hurt. As we stated before, a half a season with Henry, and he was 8th in rushing for the rushing title. So
You always need that
we all
help.
know if Henry stays healthy, the guy's a beast. Yeah, but again, he has to stay healthy. Um, so for me, Titans, I think they could go almost anywhere with that pick, even trade out. Um, they can get an offensive lineman, they can go defense. They can look for a quarterback. They get that running back of the future. So, but I think with Adam, like Adam says, I think it's their division to lose. So right now, guys, as of today, where do you see that division lining up? Chris, we'll start with you. How do you think they're going to finish?
Tennessee 1, Colts 2, Jaguars 3, Texans 4.
All right. So you just got a flip flop on the bottom there. So
Yeah.
Tim, I'll ask you, and we'll see how much of a homer you really are. Where do you got that division going?
Well, it depends on who Indy gets as a quarterback. They get Matt Ryan. They can go up on they an attempt at Tennessee. If they get Field, at this point, you're hoping to make a wild card spot away from the AFC West. But it's Tennessee's division right now. It's been Tennessee's division since Andrew Luck retired. I have to agree with Crispy. I think this is honestly, depending on what quarterback we've got, I think it's Tennessee 1, Jacksonville 2, Indy 3, Houston 4. But it all depends on what Indy does for a quarterback. You bring in you
really got Jacksonville going
you're
up
looking
there.
at a 3.
Okay, so maybe Isaiah and Lowell aren't smoking.
I didn't say they were. They're not going to be 500.
Yeah, no, I agree.
No, that's just the fact is it's just the fact is that it's just it's a wide open. Everything below Tennessee's wide open.
Yeah. Tennessee's by far going to.
It could be 6.
Major injuries, that team's going to win the division. So, yeah, that middle of the pack 2, 3, 4. I mean, right now I still got to go Indy at number 2. The other two teams are just, if anything, I would go Indy 2, followed closely behind Jacksonville. That might be a race to watch right there. and then Houston's going to fall off. I think Houston's definitely going to go fourth. Um, but like Tim said, it all depends on who's going to lead that Colts team. I mean, Mayfield, Ryan, who knows, a rookie. I mean, so that's why I was kind of shocked that they got rid of Wentz so early. So, but yeah, I got Jacksonville. I got them improving. I don't know if I go. I mean, I could see them going 8 and 9, flirt with the wild card. But it wouldn't
But
surprise me if they're like 5 and 12. But they're still sitting third.
well,
So with that, go ahead, Tim.
the funny thing is that the right now the weird thing is why I think everything below Tennessee is going to be so far below 500 is because this year the AFC South is playing the AFC West. And
That
look
is
at the
that is
West.
true. That
Every
is true. So
0-4 against the wall.
that is true. You got to factor in that, and once the schedules. I mean, we all know who's everybody's playing. Just we
Right.
got to find out where and when. Um,
And I think
So-
that's going to be early May, sometime in the end
I was
of
gonna say it's
April,
got
May.
to be released here soon. I thought it was
Yeah.
normally released before the draft.
Normally it's after.
What's that?
Draft.
It's after the
It's
draft.
after the
Okay.
draft.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll start getting in there more. So with that being said, guys, do we got anything else that we might have missed? Chris, I know you're kind of up on things.
Yeah.
I mean, we did miss the Rams locked up Stafford for a nice chunk of years, 160.
Yeah, I like that.
So what do we think? What do we think about the Rams now resigning Stafford?
I know they like.
Good.
Ooh, it's not a bad offer.
Yeah.
I mean, you did win the Super Bowl, but
Yep. Like we always throw around. Just think if Detroit had a quarterback like Stafford and what they could have done.
wait, they did.
Yeah. So Tim, what do you think about the Stafford deal?
I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
And you turn around and get him more weapons, he's just going to get more and more dangerous.
Yep. They're about ready to roll it back. So
Yeah, they are. I got a question. Did you guys see this Christian Kirk deal? That is ridiculous.
yes.
The guy's never made 1,000 yards. He's a 3 at best, and he gets 72 million over 4. 37 of it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's playing with AEW money, or they're just ridiculous. At this point, Shad Khan is taking money from AEW and moving it to WWE.
Yeah, because they're part ownership with
Yep.
that group.
But that's the whole thing is, a lot of these
It's crazy.
players. Yeah, and that's one reason why baseball is where they're at right now, because they're throwing out ridiculous money, and and football has a salary cap, which is probably one of the best in sports. But all this guaranteed money, and the guy, like Tim said, hasn't had 1,000 yards, but yet got X amount of guaranteed money. So now if he doesn't produce, he still gets money. I mean, I wish my job was guaranteed money. I mean, I think we all wish it was, but yeah, Kirk to Jacksonville, it gives them a weapon, but I still think they're, I mean, NFL, anything can happen. So yeah, they could compete this year, but I think if they keep doing what they're doing, you're going to see Jacksonville compete in 2 to 3 years. So Chris, what did you think of the Kirk deal?
Not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it wasn't bad.
I mean, it's not DiNucci money. I mean, So Tim, I don't know. I know you watch a lot of our programming, but there's one show Chris was on, and we were talking about football and what the Cowboys could do to help their salary cap. And so Chris, being a Cowboy fan, we asked him, and he goes, "Well, For me, if I was a GM, I would start by cutting Danucci, and that's all it went, and we all just bust out laughing. It's like, really, Danucci's going to be your factor of salary cap. Just the way he phrased it. We know where he
I,
was going with it.
I should have said the name first.
Yeah, yeah. So he's like, yeah, I would just cut Danucci, and we're all good. It's just like, so that's where we'll throw in the Danucci. That's kind of where it comes from. Is Danucci solves all issues.
Oh,
A guy
okay.
that's only making half a thousand or
I
something
get
like
it.
that. So,
Oh, I get it.
well, yeah. Well, with that being
It'd be
said,
like the
boys,
Mets trying to get rid of Bobby Bonilla's contract.
We
yeah,
would
now
all want
everybody's
that
signing that
contract.
type, and then everybody's signing that kind of deal now. Um, so with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up early, guys. Hopefully next week, we'll probably break down two divisions next week because I don't think we're gonna see much more movement until the draft. So, and if we do, we'll definitely break it down. So, Chris, when does the
Yeah.
UFL start?
Yeah, the USFL starts April 16th. It's
Okay,
going to
so
be simulcast on Fox and NBC.
all right, so we'll definitely have to maybe next week we'll start breaking down some UFC action. So, with that being said, let's go around the room and give our final thoughts. So, Chris, what do we got going on today?
Yeah, tonight we have Between the Ropes and, covering a little bit of wrestling as well as, some of SmackDown and Raw. And then, tomorrow make sure to tune into Red Tape Files and Four Bros.
All right. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Tim, what do you got going on halfway around the world?
I've got dinner, but I'm going to take this time to. I don't get on all your other shows. I want to get the whole passing on condolences to Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was pretty big in I think all of our lives, and then the passing away of John Clayton. I think that
Oh,
was huge. I think that's huge in what we
Yeah.
do, and I think he's one of the reasons why we enjoy free agency. He's one of the reasons why we really get into free agency and into the front office movement in the NFL, and I think he's going to be sorely missed from here on out.
yeah.
He was a good reporter, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. From the little tidbits I saw, John Clayton definitely was, I guess maybe the goat of the free agent market, the trade, the broadcasting, group there. Yeah, definitely will be missed. Yeah, just overlooked it with all the other moves we talked about. Um, but yeah, John Clayton definitely will be missed. Maybe we'll touch on that next week a little bit more. But with that being said, like Chris said, keep joining, keep sharing, keep liking coast to coast. Who knows? You could be like Tim, be a viewer, be asked to come on the show and participate. Uh, Tim, you go enjoy your bike race that's happening outside your front yard. And with that being said, we'll check you all next week on Morning Tailgate, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Thank you.